So here we are in the Atlas Mountains, somewhere on the way to the south of the country. You can see down there is a sort of pass that snakes away into the distance. That's actually where we've come from. And we've got some way to go up there. It's actually not as warm here as you'd imagine. It's only about 17 degrees or so. I apologise for the wind noise, by the way. I'm afraid there's not an awful lot I can do about that. So we'll be on our way to the other side of the mountains soon. The car spotting here is amazing. Tons of Fiat Unos, Renault 9s, Renault 11s, Renault 5s. I've even seen a Renault 12, a Bedford CF. When we actually get down to the south, I'll see if I can take some video of them. But the view is spectacular. The car spotting is amazing. It's well worth a trip to Morocco. So here we are in Ouarzazate, I think that's how you say it. And we're taking a look at some of the cars around here. Dacia Lloyd that we can't talk about. It is basically on the Sandero platform. These are everywhere. Dacia actually have two factories in Morocco. But the chances are that actually if you buy a Sandero V6, not the Stepway but the Sandero, it's built in Morocco. So they're very popular over here. One of the things that you can do if you want to buy a car cheaply over here is actually buy a Dacia, because it's only 7% VAT. Your other imported cars are 20%. These little Unos are everywhere. Like this one, they've been sort of repainted several times. And 205s, they'd made 205s in Morocco back in the day. Some people actually drive their cars all the way from places like France or Spain. Sort of 78 there, French plates. Also, I'm surprised to see like MG actually sells over here. This is a ZS. It's a bit sort of lower spec than the ones we normally have in this country, but it's good with less. Duster is very popular, made over here. And this thing is a Citroën Elise, which is sort of based on the old 208 platform. But also badged as a Peugeot 301. Other sort of makes of car like sort of Mercedes and Audi and Kia and Hyundai, you do see even Honda, but still, because Morocco was, until sort of shortly after the Second World War, a French colony. So obviously there's lots of sort of traditional sort of brands lurking around. And the Clio is very popular over here as well. I think they're actually made in the same factories as the Dacias. More car spotting Morocco later. So it's a bit later in the day now. This is still in Ouarzazate. Look at this little Suzuki Super Carry. I haven't seen too many of these actually around here, but they're virtually extinct in somewhere like Britain. I mean, they're one of the best-selling cars ever. It's the only vehicle I think ever to have been badged as a Chevy and a Ford. It's very strange. Funny old place, Morocco. Like, we've got people driving around in beautiful cars like this, like really new hybrid Hyundai Sonata we don't get in Britain, and yet like the average wage is something like like 3,200 dirham a month, which is not a lot of money at all, really. Logivas are absolutely everywhere. Look at this, first generation Renault Megane classic facelift. When was the last time you saw one of these? I don't own someone who owns this. Oh dear, we can't talk about that one. The problem isn't going around here, is that like a lot of cars have engines we can't discuss on the channel. And look at this, typical Morocco Renault 4. These are everywhere. I think production of these finished in France in like 1994, but they are everywhere. And this one's looking okay actually. It's the 1980s one, this one I think. But yeah, you just see absolutely everywhere. Talking of Suzuki Super Carries, here's a Chevrolet badged one, called a Chevy CMP. They're just, I think you could still buy these in something like Uzbekistan or something. It's crazy. We'll come back to that truck in a moment, but over here we've got another Fiat Uno. They're just so common here. That one's been painted probably several times, but it's still going. I think the 60S will be a fire engine. Wow. And you go see Logans around here and things like that. But also just weird little, another Uno. Yep, everywhere. And then this weird Chinese copy of a Toyota Aygo by Geely. Geely LC 1.3. Yeah, it's an absolute rip-off of an Aygo. You'd add for door handles and everything. And then we've got this thing. I don't even know what this is. I think it's being used as like a stand for something. I think it's an old Bedford, actually, this. Could be something I don't really know. Maybe an Isuzu. I just don't know. Just don't see these. It's crazy. Another Fiat Uno. I spotted something else as well, viewers. We're not going to go around here for too long, so we need to get back. But digging up the road for some reason, we need too many cones of things. Little Mark 1 Clio. I can't remember if these were built in Morocco or not. But the current generation Clio is. And there we go. See if we can find something else. Again, but look at this, a Renault 21 Savannah or Nevada, as they call it in some places. Just don't see those. Renault Express or Extras, they're everywhere as well. Crazy. I think this is called a fourgonnette van. In Britain, these are just extinct. I think there's single digits of these actually left. It might even be less than 5. But I've seen quite a lot of these here. It's just unbelievable, and they're just contrasting with things like that Hyundai we saw earlier, and sort of Audis and BMWs and things like that. Isn't that fantastic? So we're about 3 hours east of Ouarzazate, just out of a place called Tingrir, which is a wrong way to pronounce it, but it's the closest sort of bit I've got. Of course, we've got more Dacia action here, previous generation Logan, and we've got a Renault Symbol, which is like a booted version of, I think this is a booted version of, I'd like to say the sort of Mark 3 Clio, but I think it's a bit more than that. K14 Micra, as you can see, Elise, and then current model Dacia Sandero. Look at this vista here. There's a river valley there where all the greenery is. A lot of the scenery in Morocco is extremely kind of steppe or semi-desert. It's actually quite cool here. It's maybe sort of 15, 16 degrees. It's not that warm, but it is after 6 of the evening, so that's probably why it is. Anyway, we've got a few miles to go before we reach the destination. I just thought you'd like to see some of the amazing scenery which is in this country.